Hi, and welcome to Grandma Roseanne's kitchen. It's getting really close to Valentine's Day, guys, and I thought it would be nice, really nice to fix a romantic dinner. So that's what we're going to do. Now, Valentine's Day is only one day a year, but this dinner can be served anytime you want something spectacular. So it's going to be filet mignon cooked differently, mashed potatoes with a real nice kick to them, and we're going to have carrots that are glazed with a bourbon sauce. Oh, it's going to be so good. Okay, so what I have done is I have got some Yukon Gold potatoes in here. I'm making a very small portion here. So these are Yukon Gold that I have peeled, boiled, just until they're tender fork. So you can put a knife through it and they're just fine. Those are gonna go in. I just didn't think you needed to see me peel potato. Now I'm going to start out with 1/4 cup of milk, 1/8 of a cup of heavy cream. We're going to add a little bit of pepper, and this is just to your taste. A little bit of salt, and butter. Now, for this amount, it would probably be, I don't know, maybe you would start out with a tablespoon of butter. How's that? Because you're going to taste it and you're going to adjust it as you go through. So let's see what we have got so far. It's better if you don't splash it all over your white shirt. Okay, I'm going to push that down, and I'm going to give it a quick taste. Oh, that is good. Okay, we're going to set this aside, and I will come back to it. You guys, just that little kick of heavy cream is super delicious in it. Just that little bit. I think if you put all heavy cream, it'd be too much. And if you didn't put any heavy cream, I think you'd be missing out. So that little bit is good. All right, ready for the next step. Well, all right, we're into the second phase of this very special dinner you're going to make. Right here, I have filet mignon that I have cut into small pieces. Now, I think that serving it this way is going to make it very special, and I'll show you why. The way you present it is going to be amazing. I have a cast iron skillet here. I'm letting it get very, very hot. I have got olive oil, which I am going to put in just a tad. We're gonna let that olive oil get hot. Now, salt and pepper. You want to take it high, just like that. I used to think the chefs did that just to show off, but it's not. You get a more even distribution. Then your pepper, same thing. Mix it up. You want everybody to get their share of salt and pepper. Now, you know, or I hope you know, or if not, you will know, that when you are creating any kind of a crust, that's where the meat has the most flavor. So when you have cut it into small sections like this, rather than a big piece of filet mignon, you are going to have more intense flavor. Now let's just see, we're ready. I'm going to adjust my heat just a little bit. I don't want it quite so hot. Now this is the important part, and this is the very, very difficult part for me. Don't mess with it. Let it really get that really good crust on it And the only way you do that is by just leaving it alone. Now, once we think that that has developed by checking one, then we're going to turn all of them over until we get that crust on all sides. Now, filet mignon is expensive, all right? And I realize that. If you want a different cut of meat, you can maybe look at whatever's within your budget. But keep in mind, you're not using 2 pounds of meat here. You're using a very small amount. So if it's in your budget, it's better. If it's not in your budget, then get whatever cut of meat really is in your budget. Not yet. Now, do you see how nice and crusty these are? Can you see that? That's where we want to start turning. So I'm getting all of these turned over ever so nicely. Ow, hot. So I think that we are crusted enough all the way through. Take a look at that. Can you see how beautiful that is? Absolutely delicious. Now, as you're going through these, and you come to one like this one that really hasn't crusted enough, perhaps it was on a edge of your pan and it didn't get the same intensity of heat, just leave it there. Just let it continue until you get that nice crust on it. These look lovely, you guys. See?
Doing the way.
So good. I want this guy to cook just a little bit more. I want all of them to be perfect. Now I shut the burner off, so what I'm going to do is get a mitt, because this pan is hot. I'm going to tilt it, and I want to get rid of most of that oil. Do not wash the pan. Do not do that. We're going to put it onto a medium heat. We're going to add some butter to it, maybe a tablespoon. And we're going to scrape up all of that fond. Just like that. Now to this, I'm going to add just a touch of Merlot. Not too much, just enough to give it amazing flavor. We're going to let it cook down. And the Merlot that you use, or whatever dry red wine you might have, you know, it should be a wine that when you're ready to serve dinner, you just might want to serve that with it. So don't get the $1.99. All right, now continuing on with our fabulous dinner, we're going to make bourbon glazed carrots. So we're going to start out with 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to let that melt down nicely. Carrots have cooked for 5 minutes, and now we're going to put in a 1/4 cup of bourbon. Now, if you don't have bourbon in your house, for heaven's sake, don't go out and buy a whole bottle of it. Just go buy one of these little splits. They're only a couple of dollars, and this is exactly a 1/4 cup. How good is that? So what you will do now is just add that. And you are now going to flavor infuse these carrots, and it's going to cook now for another 3 minutes. It's going to be 3 minutes or until almost all of it is evaporated. So you just kind of watch that.
Okay.
All right, now I want you to let cameraman come in and let them see. See how this is almost totally evaporated, but not completely? That's what you're looking for. And now we're going to put in 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Mix that in really well. Now we're going to let this cook for another 5 minutes, and then we're going to make sure that most of the brown sugar has cooked through, that it's starting to thicken. If after 5 minutes your carrots are good, but you don't feel it's thick enough, then we're going to kick the heat up, and we're going to really, really reduce any moisture that we have in there and thicken that sauce. Now I went out to the garden, picked some thyme. So you want a little bit of fresh thyme. Just sprinkle it in. Just a little bit. There. These are beautiful, you guys. And the fragrance coming from them is amazing. This is going to be such a beautiful dinner. Now, if I were presenting the dinner, this is the way I would do it. I would mound those outrageous mashed potatoes. Okay, wait till you try those bourbon carrots. They are amazing. And then I think peas are probably a very favorite. Now remember the reduction that we made with the butter and the little bit of Merlot? I'm going to take that and just drizzle over the top. Just some enhanced flavor. Okay, ready to try everything. First, the carrot. That became my favorite carrot ever in the whole world. The best carrot I've ever eaten in my whole life. That's how good that carrot is. The peas I'm going to take a pass on. If you've watched our video, you know I don't like them. Now, let's just try these potatoes just by themselves. Remember, we have, get out of there, look at that. Rude, I've got a pea in there. Get out of there, you ruined my potato. Okay, so, and another one. Okay. These are mashed potatoes that have been brought to an amazing high level, and I know how good they are because I kept sticking my finger in the bowl when you guys weren't looking. So, amazing. And then what about a piece of filet mignon to go with it? I think that might be just what we're looking for. There you go. So much flavor. So much flavor. So much flavor because we took the time to just develop that crust all the way around. So, if you are going to make a wonderful Valentine's dinner, very special for whomever that you might love and care for, this is a beautiful dinner. I will tell you right now, I would make this just for myself. I really, really would. Now you pair this with a beautiful Merlot. I don't know that life gets much better than that. So, with that being said, I'm going to say goodbye. But before I leave, you be sure and hit subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hit the bell so you'll be notified. And I will leave all the ingredients below for these amazing dishes. So thank you so much. Come back and visit us. We love